is Xiao. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Clarix Imaging. I was trained in college as a physicist in the Department of Physics, but I always had a strong interest in the application of physics. So during my master program, where I was in Canada, actually, at University of British Columbia, so I started to get to know the field of medical physics. So the application of physics in medicine was fascinating to me because I could see the research directly benefiting patient care. So that interests me a lot. So actually, it was in my master program where I started to work in medical physics. I think that's medical physics is a sort of a area of life science. As the name suggests, Clarix Imaging provides clarity. So what we are specifically what we're doing is we provide clarity for with intraoperative imaging. So during the breast cancer surgery, we provide intraoperative imaging of the surgically excised specimens to allow surgeons and radiologists have a clear visualization of what the surgeon has removed, to let them see whether the clip is in the specimen, whether the tumor margin is too close to the margin, and if it is too close, they know exactly where it is, so they can go back to the patient immediately instead of having a separate procedure to remove additional tumor. For us, there are other technologies in the field. Essentially, they're using two-dimensional imaging technology, which in my field, medical imaging, is quite kind of dated. Two-dimensional imaging was developed probably in the 1980s, and whereas imaging itself advanced a lot over the past 40 years, the few kind of advanced imaging technologies entered the field of intraoperative imaging. So we came in and developed the truly three-dimensional imaging, which is a huge improvement over two-dimensional imaging to allow the surgeons and radiologists to have a three-dimensional view of the surgical specimen. And it matters a lot because the surgical specimen is a three-dimensional object. In order to fully evaluate it, you do need a three-dimensional imaging to understand it. Otherwise, if you only have the older technology, you have a 2D image, you see something in the image, for example, a close margin, you don't know exactly which margin it is. So only with true 3D imaging, you know precisely which spot is close, which margin it's close to, so you can, very precisely, go to the patient and take out additional tissue there. I think I always wanted to see my research being applied, and during my PhD research, I was fortunate to have some opportunities to collaborate with larger companies. Those are the the names people know about from medical imaging. But what I realized was that the cycle that it takes from an idea to actually take that idea to develop a product and to benefit patient care takes a long time. So I always wanted to do something to make sure that I can see the result of this research. And I think during my postdoctoral research, I was involved in a research project where we were developing and investigating different imaging methods to image surgical specimens. And I was able to, as part of the research, I was able to image happened to be a breast cancer specimen during a breast cancer surgery. So using a research prototype, it's not even a product prototype, I was able to see clearly in 3 dimension. The margin was pretty close, in this case. But I was told that the surgeon and radiologist using the then standard of care technology, they did not see that. And I was not allowed to influence the care because it was not an FDA approved or cleared product. So unfortunately, I would say I was right. Our imaging was able to show the close margin that was not clear using the standard of care technology. So that really motivated me to take one step further to develop this, go through FDA to develop this as a clinical product, so that surgeons and radiologists, they can have this to, guide them during the surgery to benefit patient care. Everything is surprising in terms of more challenges than I expected, and everything's taking longer than I expected. I think it's the constant challenge is that you build up some knowledge, but then next step you go out of your comfort zone. You are learning new things and facing new challenges. But first of all, I like challenges and I'm kind of used to it. So I learned a lot, and every time I think it's the process. I kind of take a fresh sort of point of view and look at it and try to incorporate things I've learned in the past, but also to think through the problem and see what's the best solution for addressing this new challenge. Broadly, life science obviously is exciting. A lot of people at Portal Innovations, a lot of people are working on so many different exciting projects. Specifically for the medtech area that I work in, I think there's so many technologies being developed that are just not directly applied in the medical field. So I think what excites me a lot is now people are taking a lot of these innovations from in the city of Chicago we have some really top universities, institutions, and a lot of people are starting to kind of translate the state-of-the-art and the cutting-edge research into clinical products, and that excites me a lot. We are in the process of setting a new standard of care using true 3D specimen imaging instead of 2D specimen imaging to guide the decision during the surgery, starting with breast cancer, but also eventually I do see that expanding beyond breast cancer to benefit other surgical oncology kind of specialties. So so I think just seeing that, having that kind of a vision, that's very exciting to have this opportunity to set a new standard of care. Because also I want to mention that we do have a lot of users, clinical users and customers, and it's great to see them as excited as we are, because now they're directly using our product to help them providing the best possible patient care. And they're telling us, we love the technology and this is something else you can do, something you can add on top of it that will make it even better. So working closely with our customers, clinical users, to further improve the technology. I think that excites me and our team members a lot. Not an advice, but just an encouragement. Just take the risk, especially when you're young. You have very little to lose, and step out of your comfort zone. I think the whole thing is a exciting learning journey. But by learning and overcoming these challenges, I think you can see how you can see that the outcome of your effort becoming something really useful, and in our case, benefiting patient care, and that's going to be super exciting. At Clarix, I think we will continue to improve the technology, the solution to advance our mission of providing clarity for intraoperative care, for intraoperative imaging, to give it to more and more surgeons and radiologists to let them make better, more accurate decisions. Seeing them excited and using our product, relying on our product for them to make better decisions is super exciting to us. And I would also highlight that one challenge actually we're trying to address is specifically for breast cancer surgery, is that there's a high percentage of patient, high meaning it's about 20%, 20 to 25%, depending on where you are. It's a wide range of breast cancer patients receiving lumpectomy surgery to come back for additional surgeries, second, sometimes even third or more surgeries. And we have been making a meaningful impact on that. Most recently, we have a hospital adopting our technology. they reduced, I think they have reduced 70% of their, eliminated 70% of re-excisions, meaning we have been, saving so many patients from receiving avoidable repeat surgeries. So that's something we are super excited about, and that motivates everyone, myself, our team members on a daily basis.